Bud Crawford says he is pound for pound the greatest fighter in the world. Let's talk about it. Fight World, it's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Let me go through what Terence Crawford had to say via X, his social media. Follow me on X. You see it at the top of the screen, at BOXINGEGO. Terence Crawford took to social media. He says, respect is earned, not given. I've been doing this. Some of y'all just new to this. Hashtag #1 pound for pound. Hashtag best fighter in the world. Hashtag Bud era. It is his era. He's saying he the man. Fly like Peter Pan, I'll never land. That's a bar. So he believes he's the best fighter in the world. I'm going to get through his tweets, and then I will give you my opinion. So stick to the end of this video for more on my thoughts. So Terence Crawford woke up, you know what I mean? He's feeling himself. He says, how many of y'all favorite fighters had a close fight or a fight they didn't dominate or lost? There's not one fighter I fought professionally that can say I didn't dominate them. I never like to talk because I did my talking in the ring, but I'm really him. Better ask somebody. Wow. So he woke up feeling froggish. Let's go. Finally, Terence Crawford says, when I say I'm pound for pound the best fighter in the world, this is what I mean. You could put me in any weight category if I was that size and I would still dominate. You definitely can't say the same for everybody else. Some don't have the style for smaller fighters or bigger fighters, but I do. So Crawford is saying if you sick, he got the antidote. That's basically what he's saying. Let's get it. Ego thoughts. Is Terence Crawford pound for pound #1? Your boy Ego says, yes. In the words of Craig from Friday, yes. Listen, I'm only accepting, I don't really do pound for pound lists for the record. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. I don't really do pound for pound, like meaning make 10 blank spaces and then fill them all out. Like, to me, that's stupid. It's subjective. It's a waste of time. What is more important for me is to recognize at a given time who is the #1 person, and that's clearly Terence Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford got to be the best in the business, just like me. You know what I mean? And I agree with what he's saying here. Like, here's the thing. First of all, Terence Crawford forced me to agree with what he's saying by beating Errol Spence. It has been a very, very long time that somebody has made my fight prediction look so wrong, right? You know your boy Ego, I'm a sharpshooter, like Bret the Hitman Hart, right? And Crawford, the way he handled Errol Spence in the fashion that, like, mostly everything that I was thinking could happen or would happen was wrong and proven wrong. And me, I'm no hater, so I give credit where credit's due. I always respected Terence Crawford, the fighter. I've covered several of his fights. I've even took the trip to Omaha several times. Timeout chicken, right? And that's never been an issue. I really thought Errol Spence had something for him stylistically, and I spoke that. But Terence Crawford made me and whoever else doubted him eat his words, or eat their words, and eat crow with a dominant performance. Nobody's ever made Errol Spence look like that. 3 knockdowns, stoppage. I mean, I don't even know if people picked a stoppage Crawford's way. You know what I mean? It was like almost like nothing could go wrong for Terence Crawford on that given night. So you got to give credit. I mean, he walked out with Eminem. He walked out with Marshall. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder why I keep them ducking under the bed when they hear thunder, because I ain't crazy. I say crazy to crazy people to make them believe I'm crazy so they can relate to me and maybe believe it, shady. So they could be evil, baby. I like that. I'm only as crazy as people make me. Believe me, there'll be just as many murderers and heroin users without Maryland's music. You know, he came out with the boy Marshall, Eminem, Slim Shady. He had the little dope, you know, big fish. Yeah, I mean, fish net, whatever outfit. He did the thing. He got to be #1. Now, listen, there's a lot of top fighters. Inouye's a great fighter. I'm a big fan. Devin Haney, Gervonta Davis. But you got to give it to Crawford. Like in terms of things accomplished, weight divisions, he's moved up. You know, he got a lot of accolades. And then when he's saying what he's saying about moving up in divisions, that's his view is exactly how I view pound for pound. The pound for pound argument is if you can scientifically or genetically engineer a fighter and have, like, let's say Terence Crawford's attributes, and then you put him at light heavyweight, would he be a good fighter? I mean, imagine a light heavyweight, or let's go even further to heavyweight, right? Imagine a heavyweight Crawford that was a switch hitter, that was swift on his feet, that carried power, that has ring IQ, that is fast, that's fast twitched and had reflex. I mean, who would beat Crawford at heavyweight, bro? You know what I mean? Like, just the fact that he's switch hitting would give everybody at heavyweight mad problems. And then, you know, heavyweight is really the division where one punch can change everything. So yeah, man, it got to be Crawford. Like I said, ton of good fighters. I know Bill Haney, he disagrees. When I was at Devin Haney's fight, he said that his son is the #1 pound for pound, and he well could be on his way in the future. Same thing with Shakur Stevenson and a lot of other great fighters, but Bud is not finished. And as long as he's still an active fighter until otherwise proven, you really got to give it up to Bud Crawford and what he's accomplished. Because here's the thing. When I look at, let's say, Inouye, another fighter I like for the record, but I'm just keeping it real. Inouye fought like a 40-year-old Nonito Donaire. Donaire is one of my favorites. He's from the Bay. I'm from the Bay. You already know what it is, right? So there's not a knock on Donaire. I love Donaire. I've always loved him. Legendary left hook, legendary knockouts and fights. But here's the thing. He fought an aged Donaire, like an older Donaire. And in the first fight, he was getting broke up. He had a broken jaw. I think he had a broken nose. And I give him credit for showing heart and weathering that storm and, you know, eating those shots and not getting knocked out and winning. However, you ain't never seen Terence Crawford in a fight where his jaw is broken from getting punched up or his nose is broken. So it's really hard. You know what I mean? And it's not like Inouye has this crazy depth resume. So you can't even say, oh, it's because Crawford didn't fight big enough names. I mean, Donaire was an aged fighter. Kell Brook, for example, he had a little mouse under Crawford's eye, a little bit of swelling, you know, but that happens. But I'm talking about where, like, your jaw's broken, you need surgery and stitches and stuff, and you like beat up. No one really beat up Crawford for real. You know, even the guy that people thought, including myself, like Errol Spence, that could possibly beat him up, fell flat. And you know what I mean? Like, he got a stoppage. See, that's the difference between Crawford and some of the younger fighters that are very talented, not named Gervonta Davis. Because Gervonta Davis and Crawford, they've had exchange of words and stuff, but one similarity they have, they're both amazing finishers. If they get you hurt and they know it, they're going to scientifically pull the trigger and finish the job. But for Shakur Stevenson and, like, let's say Devin Haney, even Ryan Garcia, they don't, even though Ryan Garcia has power, he don't know how to always finish you. Like, you look at his fights with Emmanuel Tiptoes. That guy was not really that good, and he didn't know how to finish him. There's no way on earth Terence Crawford would fight, let's say when he was at 35 or 40, there's no way he would be fighting Emmanuel Tilgo Sandwich or whatever the dude's name was, Tiptoes, and not finish him. No way. I mean, he's finished better people than that. So, yeah, I agree. Crawford got to be pound for pound, because if he was back at 35, back at 40, he'd be giving everybody in the division hell, if not beating them all. You know, you put him in higher divisions. Like I said, if you had a heavyweight that's ambidextrous and switch hitting, I mean, good luck trying to beat him. I mean, especially at heavyweight, because at heavyweight, guys ain't doing stuff quite that dynamic. So if the fact that he could switch hit and go southpaw like effortlessly, I mean, it would be a problem. Now, there are still good fights for Crawford. Crawford versus Canelo. I mean, I'm not as big on it as some people, but he's pushing for it. We'll see. But I don't like the weight jumping. You know, that's just not my thing. Like rapid weight jumping all the time and stuff like that. So Canelo is not more skilled than Crawford, but he's bigger and he's stronger. So, like, he's giving up a lot. Jaron Boots Ennis is the fight that I want to see for Crawford, or if he's fighting at 54 beyond Errol Spence, after the Errol Spence, if he gets past that, which he did in the first fight, you know, if he does again, then I would like to see maybe a Tim Tszyu, something like that. Tim Tszyu, Crawford. There's other big fights. I don't know if he wants to fight Jermell, but there's definitely fights out there for him. Let me know what you guys think. Best in the business. Ego thoughts. I don't know.